Jesus, Harold, get your Jesus magazine. No, it's not what you're thinking. Get your minds out of the gutter. Well, I guess I'm the only one watching this as I record this, so whatever. But guess what just got released? The Bernie Edwards shooting. Yay! Restriction. Fun. And this is probably why I don't have strikes, because I don't show the video, I just play the audio. Now that's big brain. But then the fans are like, but you now have to narrate what fans? TulsaWorld.com says video shows OKC off. I don't. Oh, that's the whatever. OKC officer fatally shot fleeing black man in the back. And I'm actually going to try to do zero bias, so please call me out if, just like put a time length if you say I'm biased here. And if I am, I'll respond. Can't wait for zero comments because nobody's gonna watch this video. Also, I do encourage, giving your opinion in the comments below if you're brave enough, so we can have an open debate on whether or not this is right or wrong, and I may even chip in. Please don't be disrespectful. If you are going to try to have a debate, try to settle your arguments with facts and reasoning, so we can have a civil debate in a YouTube comment section. Oh wow, that's weird. There's also some important case law, which is complicated. And, like all things police related, bystander caught the actual video on tape, not the body cam, and not the actual full context, just the action bit, which is what is focused on in the mainstream media, and not actually objective reporting. So yeah, let's go play.
6 months later, 60-year-old Benny Edwards was shot and killed near Penn and Hefner after a police report states he ran toward officers with a knife. Our person.
Wow. Benny Edwards, the person who got shot, is a 6-year-old homeless guy. And he was going crazy. Drugs, or, mental episode. Or both, I don't care. But his family has told reporters bipolar and schizophrenic. So, it's most likely that. So, the original call came as a homeless dude just bothering people in a strip mall. What are you gonna do about it? Social workers not gonna handle it because, did you know homeless people do have a lot of, stabby things? And, a majority of the people that you actually see on, like, the street, like, not in shelters, either do drugs or, have a mental disorder. I'm not saying all of them, a majority. Yes, but basically, what's your choice? Social worker is in danger, police officer outrage. Either possible death or a possible riot. You choose. I should also mention the possible riot is a much, much, much less of a chance than a possible death. But in general, just go say, hey, you want help? Oh, okay, nope, okay, I'm gone. Let's go explain more. First, Sergeant Roy of the OKC Police Department arrives on scene and specifically calls for a backup unit with a taser. That is important because of the calls for, more or less lethal options, which he specifically called for. Why was this? Because the person who got shot, the homeless person, walked towards him brandishing a knife, which you can clearly see. You're just going to have to trust me on this. So, here it is.
94 after you got a unit with the taser can come.
Sergeant Clifford Hall.
So, Sergeant Clifford Holman then came with a taser, the zappy zap. And he then pointed the knife at at the police again and told them to leave.
He's got a knife in his hand and he keeps coming at me with it. Put the knife down. Put the knife down. Who can go? We can't go. No, we can't. Put the knife down. Huh? We don't know. Put the knife down. Why are you making such a big deal about this? Hey, drop the knife, dude. Drop the knife. Drop that knife.
One more officer.
So, then another officer arrives, which is when he starts saying, "What are you doing over there, and what are you doing over there?" The, Officer Coleman, the second officer, I do believe, tases him twice. Because he is one of those two-prong accepting tasers. And he also gets pepper sprayed at a similar time. Overkill, yes, but not coordinated. So, yeah. Okay, here we go.
The knife, dude.
He then walks towards a police officer with a knife in hand, brandishing it at him. So, just keep that in mind.
Drop the knife.
Then he goes at another officer, the first officer, who is going to shoot him if he comes any closer.
Drop the knife.
He then starts to back up, and you could hear the taser go. But this is the officer with the lethal. Remember, he didn't just shoot him. There's the taser.
Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Drop the knife.
The taser is ineffective. Why? Because enough drugs, or just resisting it, can actually change the frequency of your body. Tasers don't work by just causing a lot of pain. They physically interfere with your body. They use the same frequency as your body, causing all your muscles to lock, making you fall to the ground and possibly go into a seizure, but small risks.
Right after.
So there's the taser. Then, after getting hit with the second taser, he starts to rush the Sergeant DeRoy, who has the lethal on him. Not the smartest. He then fires 3 shots. So there's the audio cut for, reasons. Then he changes directions and starts running away from the way he just been shot. At this point, Holman drops his taser, which he had been tasing him with, and shoots him in the back. I'll play the audio. He then dies from his wounds. Here's the perspective, or actually, I'll just narrate.
Don't come near me. Drop the knife.
So the homeless man goes near him. Then
You're getting tased.
there's the taser.
Not good. Not good. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Drop the knife.
Next taser.
Hey!
Then he rushes. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And the dash cam clearly shows him rushing and gets shot 3 times. And this is a bit of my opinion, but don't just say, "Oh, shoot him in the leg," or "Why'd they have to shoot him so many times?" 3 bullets. Didn't stop him. Center mass, where all the vital organs are. Vital organs. And there's another very, very infamous case where an officer shot a guy, it was like 30 or 40 times, and was on his last magazine. So, but he then starts to attempt to flee which we'll get into case law, which is whatever. It involves case law, and the officer who deployed the first taser gets out his gun, fires 1, 2, and 3. Then the homeless man starts to collapse, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna narrate. So, the person who fired the first 3 shots has not been charged with anything, because he was running at him with a knife. The officer who fired the fatal 3 shots has been charged with manslaughter. Now, I'm not going to give my opinion on whether or not that charge is correct. An affidavit says Officer Holman, the person who fired the fatal 3 shots, fired them unnecessarily. According to state law, first-degree manslaughter carries a punishment of at least 4 years in prison, which is probably what he's going to get. If not, I'm going to predict 4 to 8. So here's the state law. Tennessee versus Garner. Tennessee versus Garner. Jesus. Okay, let's do this. Reading directly from the Wikipedia page. Tennessee versus Garner is a civil case in which the Supreme Court of the United States held that under the Fourth Amendment, when law enforcement officers pursuing a fleeing suspect, the officer may not use deadly force to prevent deadly force meaning gunfire, to prevent escape unless the officer has probable cause to believe that the suspect poses a significant threat of death or serious physical injury to the officers or others. It was found that deadly force to prevent escape is an unreasonable seizure under the Fourth Amendment, and in the absence of probable cause that the fleeing suspect posed any physical danger. So Tennessee lost, but it did set an important standard of, let's say, if the suspect has a gun and you shoot him in the back while fleeing, you shouldn't be charged because the suspect could pose a significant threat to others. Pennsylvania versus Mims and Tennessee versus Garner are very important case laws whenever there's a big controversy like this. So if you really want more context, go read the Wikipedia page. This is probably going to be the most likely. Yes. Defense, because of, it's a pretty big case, and they're in an area where civilians are present. The homeless person, Benny Edwards, had a knife and charged an officer with it. You can also tell this because people come up and start arguing whether or not the shooting was justified. Not actually, experiencing the entire shooting and just the end result, which is a very great way to make a decision. And here's some evidence of this. Ready?
No, you stay right there.
He just threatened a guy a minute ago. Why do you think I called him? He had a knife on him. He just threatened a guy that we just ran through. You could see cars.
So, I also find the argument, and this is slightly unrelated, oh well, he has a mental disease, is irrelevant. A guy with a gun or a knife in this instance is as dangerous, and maybe more dangerous, if he has a mental disorder or not. A gun is still a gun. I mean, that's my opinion. Yeah. Full disclosure and all that. But what do you think? I mean, I could say Tennessee versus Garner, but I could also say well, the shooting was unnecessary. There was no evidence that he was going to, you know, make a try to hurt anybody else. So, I don't know. Tennessee versus Garner was an important case because of rushing officers with a knife and trying to escape. But you could also argue, well, there weren't any civilians around, or something like that. I really don't know. I don't actually know what the defense, no, the prosecution's case would be, because Tennessee versus Garner, yeah, I don't know. They would probably have to argue that if this is the defense, um that the that the suspect did not pose a significant threat, which is going to be difficult because, well, he was in a strip mall and has a knife and charged an officer. And here, I'm gonna just go ask you a few questions. Could the officer have done something different? And if so, what? And please go debate other people. I encourage it. It's part of, an open forum of thought and idea. And it's very important to me, 1A and 2A. More specifically, 1A, because, it's my passion, I guess. Yeah, passion. Passion would be a good word to describe it, or to describe this. But, um, please leave your thoughts and opinions down below. Or if you, I don't even know how the comment system for phones work. Anyways, bye.